Goblin Storm sold out, baby. It's sold out, and it's sold out quickly. And man, people are upset. And let me show you why. The Scalpers won. Once again, Scalpers take home hundreds of dollars of free tendies. And what you gonna do about it, you know? This is... What? 21 bids? How did that happen? Anyways, these are sold listings for the Goblin Storm Commander deck on eBay. And there's quite a few of them. All 400 plus. Pretty insane, actually. Usually when these commander decks get sniped, they get sniped for, you know, like 250, 300, especially because a ton sell right off the bat. I mean, there's a lot listed here. I can scroll up to find out how many total there are. eBay, how many of these are there? Well, 582 for Goblin Commander deck search, but let me try Goblin Storm Commander deck. 462 results. Can that possibly be true? Let me scroll all the way down, see if... Yeah, see, there's one that sold for 250. See, whoever this person was, they were more along the lines of what I thought it was going to sell at. But yeah, there's so many of these. It makes me think that perhaps not all of these are legitimate sales. But alas, who am I to say? Can't call it this early. Anyways, we could scroll eBay for these sold listings for apparently forever, but that's not the point I want to make. The point I want to make is just to confirm my theory from before, and that I think that it's just all the more true. Because if you look through the Facebooks and the websites and what people are saying about this selling out, they say a couple things. One, it sold out in 34 minutes, which is true. I was there. And two, oh, and I didn't get one, by the way. I did not get one. But if you're wondering if I did get one, would I keep it? No, I would not keep it. But if the opportunity was to get $450, $500, I would have sold it. And more on that maybe later, or I'll save it for another video. But if the price was $150, I would keep it because it's a pretty cool deck. Right. So that's the first thing people say is it sold out in 34 minutes. But then what's the second thing people say? The second thing people say is the limit of one per person didn't work. And how interesting is that? The Wizards of the Coast come out of the blue and to fight the evil Scalpers, which they obviously did so successfully. They put a limit one per person, and that limit was supposed to help more people get it. And then what do you know? It sells out faster than previous Secret Lairs. Like almost setting a record, actually. I mean, less than an hour. There's quite a few Secret Lairs that have sold out this fast, but this is quite, you know, it feels special. 34 minutes is quite quick. And I think this is just evidence to prove the point I made a couple of videos ago about hype. I believe, and I think that the evidence proves this out, that because Wizards of the Coast knew that this would sell out quickly, and actually as another piece of evidence, I think that they really underprinted this thing. I think they underprinted this thing, which also gave them confidence to lower the amount that people could buy to one per person, per order. Although you do see some listings on TCG Player that have more than one available. Let me see if I can pull that up. But anyways, my point is that I believe this was severely underprinted, which helped to bolster them and give them confidence that they could sell it and limit it and that it would still sell out. And okay, no, there's no listings on TCG Player with more than one. That was some misinformation I got or whatever. And so they put this limit one per person, and that helped build hype. People knew, oh, this is something everybody wants. That's the reason why they're putting the limit on it. And I mean, it was already something everybody knew people wanted, but it just enforced, just kind of builds upon itself this hype cycle of just, this is something desirable, this is something people want. And I just feel like Wizards are learning and have learned how to play their consumer base like the fiddle. This is just exactly what they wanted to happen. They wanted it to sell out quickly. They wanted it to flip for higher prices. I don't know if they anticipated this higher price, You know, I imagine they would have been happy if it was selling on the secondary market for 300, but 400, 500 plus is pretty wild. And so it's a victory. It's a victory for Wizards. And then you get people complaining like, oh, the limit one per person didn't work. That is exactly what Wizards was hoping would happen. What they were hoping wouldn't happen was the limit one per person working and it not selling out very quickly. That would have backfired. But if they could put on a limit and then it still sells out basically instantly, then what do you know? They got to gamble with a possibility that they were going to sell less, but then they won the gamble and they get all the hype, all the attention, all the commotion without any of the downsides. It is actually quite special. I mean, Wizards has to pay for new art. These cards are shiny. They come in a special box. And so there's some, production costs or some, I don't know, arbitrary costs associated with this product. But the fact that they're able to put like $250 worth of reprints into a $150 deck, but then it sells on the secondary market for $400, $500 is really impressive and really interesting. I'm not sure exactly what to make of that. Maybe there are a lot of Goblin fans out there, but I think it's the hype. And the hype is what Wizards lives on, by the way. Every collector booster box, almost every, gets hyped. You know, the newest set in Pokemon, they have a saying like newest set, best set. And that's partially true in Magic, where I just remember when every set that comes out, the headliner card right at release is going for peak dollar. You know, the Bitterbloom Bearer, the Aether Spark, the Zalthura Super Void. You know, these are cards that were just so expensive right when they come out, and then they kind of dip down. And maybe they go up eventually over time. But the hype, when the hype is the highest, which is basically like at release day, that is when the prices soar. That's when things are expensive. And that's when it's expensive to get things. I wouldn't be surprised if this Secret Lair Goblin Storm Commander deck is cheaper a month from now than it is today. Just because the hype. Today's the hype. Today is everybody getting excited about this deck, buying it, missing out on it, getting upset, going to post on the internet about how upset they are, getting Wizards more press, more hype for the next Commander deck. I mean, imagine the next Commander deck that comes out in Secret Lair. What is that going to be? Is that going to sell out in 28 minutes? You know, obviously they could build a bad one and it could sell out in less or more time or whatever, but I don't know. Anyways, quick video today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, and subscribe. If you have not subscribed, I plea with you to subscribe. But anyways, thanks for watching. Watching is enough. You don't have to subscribe. I take it back. Have a great day. Bye. Bye.